I always had a sense of unease whenever I passed by the old, dilapidated house at the end of our street in Omaha, Nebraska. Its weathered exterior loomed over the neighborhood like a silent sentinel, its boarded-up windows and crumbling facade telling tales of neglect and abandonment. While most of the locals avoided it like the plague, shunning its shadowy corners and whispered secrets, I found myself inexplicably drawn to its eerie allure. Growing up on the outskirts of town, I had heard the stories, the rumors of hauntings and strange happenings that plagued the old house for generations. But as a curious and adventurous soul, I couldn't resist the urge to unravel its mysteries, to peel back the layers of time and uncover the truth hidden within its decaying walls. One sweltering summer day, with the sun beating down mercilessly and the air thick with humidity, I made my fateful decision. Ignoring the warnings of friends and family alike, I set out on a quest to explore the haunted house at the end of our street. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement coursing through my veins, I pushed open the rusty gate and stepped onto the overgrown path that led to the front door. The moment I crossed the threshold, a chill ran down my spine, and a sense of foreboding washed over me like a tidal wave. The interior was cloaked in darkness, the only light filtering in through the cracks in the boarded-up windows. Dust motes danced in the still air, swirling around me like specters in the night. Undeterred by the oppressive atmosphere, I pressed on, my footsteps echoing eerily in the empty halls. Room after room revealed itself to me, each one frozen in time like a snapshot from a forgotten era. Furniture draped in dusty sheets lined the walls, their shapes distorted by the passage of time. It was as if the house itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. And then it did. As I reached the top floor, a sudden gust of wind slammed the door shut behind me, sealing my fate with a resounding thud. Panic clawed at my chest as I groped blindly for an escape route, my heart pounding like a drum in my ears. But every door was locked tight, every window barred shut, trapping me in this house of horrors with no way out. As the minutes stretched into hours, my fear gave way to despair, and I resigned myself to my grim fate. But just when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of light caught my eye, a small, tarnished key lying forgotten on a dusty shelf. With trembling hands, I reached out and grasped it, the metal cool against my clammy skin. With bated breath, I approached the nearest door and inserted the key into the lock, the mechanism clicking open with a satisfying sound. As I stepped out into the cool night air, a sense of relief washed over me like a cleansing tide, and I collapsed onto the ground, my body trembling with exhaustion and adrenaline. But even as I lay there, staring up at the stars twinkling overhead, I couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent lurked within those walls, waiting patiently for its next victim. And though I had escaped with my life, a part of me would always remain trapped inside that house of horrors, haunted by the memories of what lurked within. The small town in the heart of Texas, a dot on the vast canvas of the American landscape, was a place where the relentless sun cast long shadows and the relentless heat rippled through the air. Nestled amidst the sprawling plains and rugged terrain, it had an air of timelessness, a community where generations intertwined and the pulse of life echoed with familiarity. I had spent my entire existence in this quiet enclave, where the rhythm of life was as predictable as the setting sun and the nights were alive with the symphony of crickets and cicadas. But beneath this tranquil exterior, an undercurrent of unease threaded its way through the town like an invisible current. The whispers started as faint murmurs, gentle breezes of conversation that danced on the wind and faded into the shadows. Initially dismissed as the idle gossip inherent in a close-knit community, the whispers grew louder, morphing into an insistent hum that refused to be ignored. With each passing week, the sense of foreboding that settled over the town deepened, casting a pall over our once serene community. Strange occurrences punctuated our days, anomalies that defied explanation and left a lingering sense of disquiet. Livestock vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the rustling of wind-blown grass as a haunting reminder. Crops nurtured by the sun-drenched fields withered and died, their golden stalks now ghostly sentinels standing in silent testimony to the unnatural happenings. Lights flickered in the night sky, not the familiar twinkle of stars, but an otherworldly glow that sparked conversations fraught with fear. Initially dismissed as the quirks of rural life, the unpredictable whims of nature, these incidents grew more frequent and more bizarre, forcing even the most skeptical among us to confront the unsettling reality that something malevolent was at play. Determined to uncover the truth and salvage the once harmonious fabric of our community, I embarked on a quest to unravel the mystery, armed only with my curiosity and a steadfast determination to shield those I loved from the encroaching darkness. The journey into the unknown led me to a network of underground tunnels hidden beneath the unforgiving desert sands. As I navigated the winding passages, their walls adorned with strange symbols pulsating with an otherworldly energy, the air thickened with a palpable sense of menace. Centuries-old secrets seemed to press down on me like a weighty shroud, whispering tales of forgotten horrors and clandestine experiments. In the heart of the tunnels, I stumbled upon a chamber that defied the laws of reason, a vast cavernous space housing rows upon rows of glass cylinders. Each contained a writhing mass of tentacles and eyes, their alien forms twisting and contorting in the dim light. The realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. The creatures within were not the architects of their own fate, but mere pawns in a grander scheme orchestrated by shadowy figures with inscrutable motives. The government, it seemed, had been conducting experiments for years, using our town as a testing ground for their twisted machinations. The revelation cast a dark shadow over the very fabric of our reality, and as the truth clawed its way to the surface, the government was willing to go to any lengths to ensure their secrets remained buried forever. In the end, I managed to escape the underground labyrinth with my life, but the scars of that night ran deep. As I emerged from the tunnels, the sun casting its golden glow over the barren landscape, I knew that the horrors I had witnessed could never truly be left behind. Drawn into the tapestry of my existence, those shadows would linger, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to claim its next victim. Yet as long as I drew breath, the flame of resistance would burn bright, fueled by an unyielding resolve to expose the evil that lingered in the corners of our reality.